I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter.
This is the Family Show!
Howdy folks, welcome to my top 100 games of all time for 2018. I'm Hunter, this is Rebecca, and today we are going over my 100 to 91. So let's give you a little preview like I always do. 9 of these games went down.
From last year?
From last year. No new games. 1 game went up. And the biggest drop of all my games that were on the list last year is in this 10.
How are we going to top this one?
I don't know. It's crazy. Well, let's get it started off with my 100, a family favorite. And a heavy game. Jeez. Pitch Car. Pitch Car is fun. It's a dexterity game where you're flicking a disc, which represents your car, around a racetrack in an effort to be the first one to do, well, we normally do 2 laps. So, first one to do 2 laps wins. It's a really fun game. It's fun for all ages. You don't even need to be a gamer to play this. It's a pretty straightforward, easy game to learn and play. The girls, Nessa and Caitlin, love this game very much. We love it so much, in fact, I just bought an expansion. The Stunt Race. Is that backwards?
Yes.
The Stunt Race!
Oh my gosh.
So this one gives you a ramp where you can, like, launch your car into orbit. But anyway, this is a great game. This is just a really solid game. It's a little on the expensive side.
Yeah.
A little bit space. It takes a lot of space to play this game if you set up a fairly large track. But it is a blasty blast.
Also, it turns out that there's a mini pitch car. Which,
there is a mini version.
if space is at a premium for you. Although we seem to like the bigger one better.
Yeah, we just clean off the dining room table and make a massive track.
Yep.
Although I think we're exceeding the limits of what we can do. We have to actually leave some of our track out because it's too big. But yeah, great game. If you're looking for a dexterity game that anyone can play, little kids, adults, like I said, non-gamers, this is a great one to try out. Pitch Car.
So, is that one of the ones that went up? Or one
No,
went
this
down?
one went down 24 from last year. 24.
What will replace it? We shall see.
I don't know. Anyway, 900 Pitch Car. Oh, very heavy. Alright, my number 99, which went down 26 spaces from last year,
Dang.
is one of Rebecca's all-time favorites, Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
What just happened here?
Castles of Mad King Ludwig. So this game is a tile placement game. It's got an interesting auction mechanism where you basically, one person's it for the round, and they set the prices of a bunch of tiles, and then it goes around the table, and each person has an option to buy a tile or not buy a tile. But if they buy a tile, they have to pay the person who set up the auction. So there's kind of a little cat and mouse where if there's one you really want, you have to set the price high enough where they won't buy it. But if you do that, then when it comes around to you, you're going to have to pay a lot of money to get it. So it's kind of you got to kind of judge what people want and don't want and set the prices accordingly. But it's a fun tile placement game. You got all these little tiles, and you get benefits for being next to some buildings or minuses being next to other buildings. If you have a really loud room next to the bedroom, then you get minus points. But if you got like a entertainment room next to like a dining room or something, you get bonus points. Who knows? But it just depends on the tile. But it's really great. It's got goals that you have to achieve for the end of the game for a bunch of points, which usually determine who wins, as the goals do, because they're a big number of points. So
I really like the variability for playing this too, because the goals, there's a bunch of different goals that you have, and you kind of just pick a randomly and lay them out, and then when the game starts, you flip them over. So each game's a little bit different because you might be going for a completely different thing, like all big rooms one game, and the next game it's going to be like total perimeter or something, and it's really neat. I really like the way it changes it up.
And those goals drive the economy of the game, right? Like you said, if one of the goals is having big rooms, then you're going to crank up the prices on those because people are going to be wanting to get them to try to get the victory points at the end.
Yep.
Anyway, awesome, fun game. I love the little back tiles and stuff. It's really cool. It looks good. It's one of those games where after you're done, you look down and go, "Ooh, look what I did,"
Yeah.
or "Ooh, what did I do?" So, Castle of Mad King Ludwig, my number 99.
Very fun.
All right, number 98 is a fun game, but I don't get to play it very often because it's best with like 10 or more people is probably the number you want for this game, and that is Mafia de Cuba. This would probably, if I had a regular game group with like 10 plus people. Oh. Anyway,
you probably play that all the time. Oh my gosh!
This game is, every time I played this, I had a blast, but it really, honestly, the only time this hits the table is conventions and like when we have go to a meetup or something like that. That's the only time we ever get to play this. I think it's plays 5 or more, 6 or more, but you really want 10 or more to play this game to really. It's really where it shines is when you get to a massive group of people sitting around the table. But anyway, this is a social deduction game where one person's the Godfather, or what do they call him?
We call him the Godfather. Yeah,
he is the Godfather. One person's the Godfather, and basically he has the box. The box, actually, you use the box to play. There's a bunch of gems in the box, and basically he takes some of them out, and he passes the box around, and people can either take a roll card or steal some gems. And it goes all the way around and comes back to him, and he looks down and someone stolen a lot of his gems. And then his job is through social deduction, asking questions to try to figure out who stole the gems, because as you're passing the box around, you get to look in and see what's there, and like, let's say someone looks down and there's 5 gems in there, and they pass it to the next person, and then later you question that person, and they say there was only 4 gems in the box when it got handed to them. You know one of those 2 is lying, and you kind of got to figure out who stole all the gems. And so if you gather all the gems back, then you and all your loyal henchmen win the game. If you do not recover all your gems before you make too many mistakes accusing people, then the bad guys win. So. And there's all kinds of other roles that can win different ways. There's like an FBI agent that's trying to shoot somebody, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So, just a great big group social deduction game. Mafia de Cuba. My number 98, I didn't say. It went down 41 spots. Oh, Mafia de Cuba.
Probably, do you think that's because it just doesn't get played very much? Yeah.
If you watch the introduction to my Top 100, you know that this year I'm punishing games I haven't played in a long time. They get punished. And that was one of the ones that got punished. Because we haven't played this one. We played this one once. Played it a couple times, but it was like first part of the year at a meetup is the last time we played it.
Yeah, it was Dallas Games Marathon. Yeah. We played it like 3 times in a row or something. But, yeah.
We haven't played it since.
So.
All right. So the next one up is my biggest drop of the whole list. And it's been murdered by another game. Completely murdered. I will not say which game. You probably can figure it out.
I bet I'll figure it out.
My number 97, which dropped 56 places, the biggest drop that stayed on my list, is Eclipse.
What?
So Eclipse is a 4X-ish game. But it's a very Euro-y 4X game. So basically the way it works like a lot of 4X games. You go out and you explore, you expand out, and as you expand out, you put cubes on the board and they give you more and more resources. So there's a lot of resource management in the game, which is the Euro part of it. You have research you can do. You can research different techs. You can upgrade your ships. And somewhere along the lines, occasionally you get into a fight. And you fight the bad guys. So it just seems like a lot of this game is it's got the Euro build-up feel to it, and then eventually you start doing some fighting and interacting with the other players. I like the dice combat in the game. I like a lot of things about the game, but I don't even remember the last time we played this. Because there's another game with a space theme that I'd much rather play than this game. So I'm going to bust out a space theme game, and I have the time to do it. there's another game I'd rather play than this one. But Eclipse is a great one. This is a lot of people's like favorite game. They have like a bazillion expansions, and they play for like 8 hours because there's so many expansions and craziness. We've only played the base game, and we've only played it 2-player.
I want to try it with more players because I like the stuff you do in it. But yeah, you're right. It's not quite what you would think it is. Like you think when you hear 4X, you think that you're going to be doing much more fighting than you end up doing in this.
You may have more players, you may do fighting.
And that's what I think it is. Yeah. I think maybe that might be a 2-player problem with the game. But
we like
I like it.
We don't interact until the very end of the game.
Typically. Because we like to hole in and like build up a little bit. But I like the different ships, and it's easy to tell apart the ships because they all look different. Yeah. As opposed to some games where, they're the same thing and you have to I hate that. I hate having to figure out what they are, and this is really nice that way. It's a lot of different little pieces, so. Yeah,
I love the research and the upgrades you do in this game.
Yeah,
this is like most space games that play 2-player. All the diplomacy and stuff is out of this game as well. So that's another minus for this game. I think you're right. I think if we played this with more players, it would probably creep back up the list. But as a 2-player game, and that's the only way we've played it, it is dropping fast. So. That's my number. What number is it? Are we supposed to help me with this? 97. Eclipse.
I'm going to make signs. I keep saying this. It's going to happen next year.
All right, my number 96 dropped 15 places. Like I said, 9 of these games went down, so this one dropped 15 places. Not too bad. It's hanging on because I love it. It's probably one of my go-to filler social deduction games. Is there such a thing as a filler social deduction game?
Yeah.
There is, because it's called Coup.
Coop.
So Coup is, if this wasn't my introduction to social deduction games, it was one of our earliest ones.
Werewolf was first and then Coup.
Oh, you're right. Werewolf was the first. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You win.
So
that's not really a game. I mean, it doesn't have.
Please leave your comments.
It doesn't come in a box. Well, I guess you buy Ultimate Werewolf. It comes in a box.
Anyway.
All right, Coup. Anyway, social deduction game. Super simple game. This one's, you can teach this one in like a couple minutes. It's so easy to teach. And it's so fast to play. A game of it is only like 10, 15 minutes. So what you do is you have 2 cards in front of you that have people that have certain powers, right? You have like an ambassador, a duke, and different types, captain. And they have powers. And they're face down in front of you. And when it comes around to your turn, you can take the action of any person you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be the cards in front of you. If you take that action, then the people around you can decide whether they believe you have that card in front of you or not. If they believe you, then it just moves on to the next person. If they don't believe you, they have to accuse you, and then if you reveal the card that you used the action of, then they have to lose one of their cards. If you don't reveal it, then you have to discard one of your cards. And basically, it's the last person standing. The last person that has a card in front of them wins the game. I think I just taught you the whole game, other than what the different characters do. Super easy game, super quick to play. This one, every time we play it, we end up playing it like 4 times. It's because you can crank out 4 games in less than an hour probably of this game. Just super fun. Can't say more about it. I mean, it's hanging on. It's slowly going down my list because there's just so many social deduction games, and I tend to like the meatier ones. But this is still a great game to pull out if you need to do like a 15-minute little quick game or something, filler game. With actually some fun, a lot of filler games are pretty straightforward and simple. This one actually got a lot of interaction, a lot of fun stuff going on. So anyway, that is my number 96, Coup. You said it first.
I did.
All right, my 95. Number 95 dropped 25 places.
Man, what is up with this?
Sorry, this is at the bottom of my list are going to be droppers usually. Here it is. It is El Grande.
Oh my goodness.
El Grande. It dropped 25 places. Great game. Love it. This one is another punitive drop because we have not played this in a long time.
We should play it again soon.
We should play it. I love this game.
It's really good.
It's a very straightforward area control game, and that's like the brunt of the game is area control. You basically draft a card. That card lets you do a power. Usually it lets you get some more cubes to spend or put cubes on the board. There's a cube tower. Sometimes you put cubes in a cube tower. and there's area control within that tower, so you got to kind of keep track of what you put in there and haven't put in there. Basically, when you do the scoring, there's scoring throughout the game. When you do a scoring, you basically reveal the cube tower and see what's in there, and whoever has the most in there wins. So area control that as well.
You have to remember
that cube tower. Yeah, so you always like, did I put 3 in there? Or did I put 4?
Gosh. Don't play this late at night.
You're like, I got this. You lift it up and you have like 1 cube in there.
Yeah,
I could have swore I put more than 1 cube in there.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's funny, but yeah, this is a great game. There's a story behind this. Look at prior years lists, and I'll tell you the story about how I got this game. But it's funny. But it's a great, straightforward. If you're looking for just a, bare bones area control game. If you're looking for a bare bones area control game, this is a great one to do. I can't say that. I was going to say it's probably my introduction of more modern area control, because obviously Risk and stuff like that's area control, but this one's more Euro.
You could call it cube deduction.
Deducting how many cube.
You have to deduce
how many
what in the world did you put in there.
Anyway, this one's a great one. This is
it's pretty cool.
It's been around forever. 96. So
96 is when it won the Spiel des Jahres.
Yeah. So my version is the 96 version.
Because it's cool like
version. That. Anyway, great fun game. Needs to hit the table again, or it's gonna drop off the list. It's going to go by.
That is nonsense.
We have to play it. Anyway, so that's on number 95, El Grande.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
Huh. I was gonna try to say whatever the sub name was of it. All right, onward. My number 94. It dropped 40 places.
This is
crazy.
Wild. This is pretty wild.
Another punitive one.
Oh, okay.
And here it comes.
This is making more sense.
It is 5 Tribes. When's the last time we played 5 Tribes?
I don't care.
5 Tribes. I told you. They're getting punished. So 5 Tribes. This is a great game. We took forever to actually buy this game because we heard all the horror stories of AP. So basically, the game is covered with all these. The board's covered with meeples, and you picked up some meeples, and you do Mancala dropping off meeples, and wherever you land, you kind of take the action of that spot, or whatever meeple you set in that spot, and whatever that spot you land on. And there is, when you start this game, there is probably I probably should do the math sometime. There's probably like 10,000 combinations of moves.
Yeah, it's ridiculous
that you could do. I wonder how many combinations of moves. It might be a by the numbers
episode in the making right there.
Yeah. How many moves do you have for the first play of
that alone is going to cause AP just thinking.
But
about
it's a great game. It's a Days of Wonder production. Beautiful board. Beautiful
brightly
production. It's great. Basically, you're picking up, like I said, you're picking up meeples, dropping it off, and you're trying to take control of different areas. You put camels and oasis and palm trees and stuff, and you get points, and it's point salady at the end, and it's really cool game. It's a lot of fun. It has gens that you can get that give you superpowers. It's got a lot of cool things going on. I really enjoyed the game. It just doesn't get played much. Thus the droppy drop.
I love this game. Yeah, I love all the choices. The djinns and stuff give you so many cool special powers too, and different abilities that really spice up the game.
So when we play with, I think, have we ever even played this with anyone else? When we play, we've got the unwritten rule.
Yes.
That you can't stare at the board for hours at a time trying to figure out what you're going to do because there's so many plays. Except I reserve the right. On my last play, I can actually math it out. Because there's not as many choices when you get down to your last move.
There's enough to make it...
Hey!
You can't say anything.
My number 94, the beautiful and not often played 5 Tribes.
Enough played. We'll just add that little tidbit there.
All right, my number 93 is the one that went up. It went up 48 places.
Oh, I forgot, because you ranked so many games.
It went up 48. It was my 141 last year.
Good heavens.
It's popped up. And why is that?
Expansions?
No. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell a little story about this part. Since it's the only one that went up, I'm going to have a little story time here.
Story time.
So, we have a lot of Stefan Feld games. We have, I don't know, 10, 12 Stefan Feld games.
Oh, yeah.
At least that many. This one we've always hated on. Hate. And I forced myself to play it again recently. And then I realized how much I like it. I think your dislike of it bleeds over into it affects how I feel about it. But I think I like it a lot more than you. Like, a lot more than you. And that is Aquasphere!
Oh, okay.
I really enjoy this game. But for some reason, it got thrown into the we don't like Feld category, and we hardly ever played it. But we played it.
Yeah,
and I was like, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the last time we played it did go much better.
I really enjoyed it the last time we played it, and I think I was hating on it for no reason. So I enjoy it. It is one of the least liked Felds. It's been in the bargain bin at Barnes and Noble and all sorts of places. You know, it's been like basically given away. I think we actually got our copy for free at a con.
Was it free?
Yeah, it was like
free or cheap or something.
No, I think it was a free game at a con. I think.
Oh my
I could be wrong.
But
anyway,
wild,
this one's just hated on. But I enjoyed it the last time we played it. I love how you build up your little. You get like these superpowers and you move all your guys around. It's just really cool. It's the kind of puzzle game I like. I like that kind of puzzle where it's like logistics puzzles. Like, okay, if I move this guy here, then I need to move this guy over here, but then I need to have two guys over here, and you really have to kind of think out how you want to. You have to plan out your move on how you do, and even you plan out several moves in advance because your action selection is kind of a flow chart. Kind of you basically move one place, and then from there you can branch off. So you may take a move that you don't want to be able to do a move that you do want. It's just got a lot of fun things going on, but it just gets a lot of hate, and I think I kind of took on that hate incorrectly because I really do enjoy.
Let the hate flow.
So this is my number 93, up 48 places. Crazy.
To quote someone I know, it's alright.
Like I said, you don't like. I don't think you like this one as much.
I don't like it as much. But I must say that the last time we played it, I did like it a lot more.
Yep, I like this one. So don't hate, appreciate.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, my number 92 is one of the reasons why my number 94 dropped so much because I like this game a little bit more than the other one. And that is Yamatai.
Yeah.
Seems heavier. Yamatai. Why is this so heavy? We didn't get an insert or anything, right?
No, we had an expansion.
Oh. Don't look in there.
You didn't see that.
So Yamatai, this is another Days of Wonder beautiful release.
Gorgeous.
Probably, I think this got voted our favorite board game cover when we did our top 10 board game covers.
My vote.
Was that a 5 on the spot? I can't remember. No, I think it was a full top 10. But anyway, it's probably our favorite board game cover. The board's beautiful. The game's beautiful. The pieces are beautiful. The game's fun. I don't know why this one isn't higher on my list. It's just I guess because it's so straightforward.
I don't know. I like this one much more than you do.
I know. But this one, it's on par for 5 Tribes with me. I just slightly better because there's not that AP difficulty. There's not 10,000 moves that you can make.
That's true. What I really like about it is the way you do turn actions.
Oh, you basically draft the...
You're drafting them, and they're numbered, and the numbers are a rank. So it's like the order, like what you want to do, depending on the cooler moves, right, or have higher numbers, so they're going to go later, and so you kind of juggle that back and forth. You might get more ships that you can put across the board, but you're going to go later, and things like that. And I really like that a lot. I love it just seems like a really elegant way to play.
Yep.
They made it really smooth.
Well, it's
a gorgeous game.
I think the only thing against this is that it's kind of a lighter game, and I always get beat at it.
Okay. It's lighter. Let's put that in reference, though, because it is lighter for the games we play.
Right.
Because it's pretty heavy.
It's not heavy.
It's medium weight.
It's, maybe.
Yeah, it's Yeah.
This one, even there's mixed opinions about this game. Some people know. I mean, some people say it's just like Five Tribes.
Oh,
some people say it's nothing like Five Tribes. I say it gives me the feeling of Five Tribes. You're basically putting stuff on the board. You're using combinations of things to draft cards. You're trying to complete goals. You're getting helpers to help you.
Yeah, I guess I could.
I don't know what they're called, specialists or whatever they're called.
Yeah, I could see it.
But it's a different game.
To me, it feels like a completely different game. But they're like cousins because the art's so similar, right? The colors they use are similar, but the theme and everything is so different.
Well, I agree with that. But if these two came up together when I'm trying to decide which one I like better, I have to really think about it because they feel so similar. Similar weight, like you said, similar. They're similar productions.
Yeah, because really there are a lot of choices to make in this. It seems that they stand out a little bit more. But
you're limited in the number of the goals you want to do, right?
That's true.
It gives you things that basically the way it works is you're putting ships down around islands, and then if you circle an island with a certain combination of ships, you get to take a card that gives you victory points.
So yeah, it's driven by that a little bit. It kind of helps narrow down some of your choices.
You're looking at I need 3 greens. Okay, where can I put 3 greens? Yeah. Oh, I can't do that one. And you only have 5 choices of things to go for here, and you can work through those pretty quickly. And usually you're shooting for one. Basically, you look at one that you're trying to do, and then you draft the action that gives you the right ships that you need, right? So, yeah. So it's a lot more straightforward, but I enjoyed it. It's a good game. It's in my top 100. Any game that's in my top 100 is a really, really solid game. I mean, it wouldn't be there if it wasn't. I mean, we've played
too many games too.
Too many games.
Yeah, to let a bad one sneak in.
So anyway, there it is. Yamatai, my number 92. All right.
Oh, it's the last one for today. Our grand finale.
The last one for today dropped 11 places, so not too bad.
Okay.
I just love this game because it is crazy. Crazy. I usually don't like games with a lot of crazy, but this one works for me. And that is Colt Express. I don't know why. This game is so much fun.
Hilarious.
The game. The only reason this is the game that makes me laugh. That's the only reason it's on the list because it makes me laugh. Because this is a basically program movement game where you're like a little gunfighter guy on a train trying to rob the train. You go around and gathering loot and beating up the other players, and basically you take turns playing a card. Some of the cards are face up, some cards are face down, and you go through.
Go ahead, keep talking.
You go through and put them all out, and then you basically flip them over, and then you play them all in the order they were played, and see what happens. So everybody's shooting each other, punching each other. A lot of times you'll be wanting to punch someone, but he's already climbed up to the roof, or you shoot at someone and they've moved, so you shoot the person behind them.
Yeah.
All kinds of craziness happens.
It's pretty crazy. I just wanted to show the pieces. I love the way they set up this game because once you put it together, you don't have to take it apart ever again. They made it so you can store all the pieces intact, so you have all your little train cars. And you hook them up, and people go in or above, and the loot's on there or up there and all over the place. It's hysterical.
Yeah, it's just a fun game. It's short enough. It says 40 minutes. That's pretty accurate. It's short enough that the silliness and craziness doesn't bother me too much.
Yeah, and it doesn't worry out.
If it was a long game with a lot involved, and then you had the randomness of like program movement, it does not work for me. But a short game that is just goofy and silly. It's every game I played, this has been fun. People were laughing, joking. There always ends up being one person that gets shot like 1,000 times.
Oh yeah, or every time you go to hit somebody and
they're
it's whiff because they run away right when you do it, or something.
And every character you play, if you play the more advanced version, every character you play has a superpower that does something cool. Some people, when you punch, you automatically grab a loot. A lot of times you have to pick up the loot that falls down. There's some people that can, when they shoot, they knock you backwards, and all kinds of craziness. And every round usually has an effect that happens, like something happens with the train, like everyone on the roof gets knocked back, or all kinds of weirdness happens. So it's just crazy fun, crazy fun.
That is a good one.
So that is my number 91, the last one for this time. We're already done for the first 10. Crazy. So I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of the next 10, because I always give you a sneak peek. 5 new games next time. It's the new game section. So let's look forward to some new additions to my list next time. Thanks for watching.